All kidding aside, he has been a real blessing for my life. He has been a true partner, a great confidant, and a wonderful friend. And I want to wish him lots of happiness in 171 years. Our families here today, and you're here because you're very, very special to both of us. And so I want to welcome all of you to this 70th birthday celebration. All right? So I'm going to toast to this wonderful guy, and you all know how wonderful he is. But he is really a great inspiration.
You're here.
But what we're going to do now, what we're doing is we asked all these children to make a toast to Bob. So we're going to start from the oldest, which is Bobby Jr. Then we'll follow with Stan, then Jarrell, and then last but not least, the one and only girl, Stephanie. So I want them to come up and say a few words. So Bob,
Come up.
Hey. Man, a few words here. I was going to give a real long speech, but after talking to Nisha and the kids in the car for 3.5 hours, I'm not going to say a whole lot. So I think I'm all talked out. But I was thinking about the toast. I was like, looking at the toast with Dad. I got so much, so history, so much. And then one day I was watching television. Well, doing PX90. I don't do PX90, I just watch the commercial. It kind of inspired me. When the commercial came on, it was a commercial that said that the average American awakes 25,000 sunrises. In that mathematician, I kind of figured out how many sunrises that would be in terms of years. And it made me realize that my dad has exceeded what the average is. And that every day has been really a blessing. Commercial ended up for life insurance. For every sunrise that happens, what are you going to do today? And what are you going to leave to the rest of the world that wakes up tomorrow in a sunrise that you may not? And I was like, wow, that's kind of blatant, but it makes sense. And when I thought about that, I thought about the fact of how much my dad has done for me, personally. Not just because of the song, but just the type of person that he is. So that made me think that he's beyond that average scope of most people, and so I should really appreciate each day with him even more. And when it comes to what he leaves behind, I can say that the genes in terms of athletic ability in playing basketball kind of skipped me a little bit. But when I look at my son's plays football and basketball, I see everything that my dad had done in his life. So it may not have been meant for me, but I did kind of participate in the process of bringing 2 people in the world. And hopefully, like LeBron, they'll look it back and in honor of my father paying me 15% of the management share in NBA contract. So that's what you know that I see every day with you. There's been a lot of people that come along the way. Many of those people are here, some people aren't. Some people will say thank you, some people may not say thank you. But nonetheless, so the toast is the blessing of my father. Oh boy.
I'm blowing. Blowing.
Bobby, in our lives, watch our family in more ways than you guys can imagine. Measure a man's character. I measure that. Bobby's love and respect personifies the true qualities of a gentleman. How do you define friendship? Bobby and a relationship between my sister and I with an open mind and an open heart. He truly cares about us. He celebrates our triumphs, consoles us during the tough times. He's always there for a good time during the Eagles game. How do you define love? Unconditional. The two most important days of my life, my wife, was when our two kids were born, Stan and Gabriel. You just imagine what it meant to have Bobby at the hospital celebrating that special moment with us. If you've ever seen Bobby with children, you probably want to drop the zero after the 7 because he's just like a little kid.
That's true.
Every time Bobby's around Stan Jr., nobody else exists. Stan Jr. loves him dearly, and both of our kids are very fortunate to have great grandfathers. So let's celebrate no wrinkles, no gray hair, many more working mothers.
And the thing that I would say is at one point in my life, something dawned on me. And I remember I was playing sports, and I would go out and I would talk to other coaches and go to camps and all those kinds of things with that teacher. I'd be out in the park playing basketball, getting advice from friends. And one day it dawned on me that, I'm going everywhere else for all this information. I should probably look inside and see where my dad was. And it was a pretty profound day when I actually started to think about my father and his experience. And his experience that he could offer me and the advice that he could offer. And I started to then come to him and ask for not only about advice in sports, but advice about relationships, about career, about goals, about values, things that are important. That at the time, growing up, I didn't think that he had all that knowledge. He was just dad. And he never presented himself as the person that had all that knowledge. He always presented himself as, I'm your father, I'm always here. He was always that rock. It's always been there for me. So I continued to look for advice. I continued to always find a resource in him and strength in the family that we've become and that we've grown to. Carmen and Stan and Steph. And I've been thankful to be a part of such a loving family, an extended family. So to hear for my toast, I toast our relationship as a coach and a player, as an advisor and a student, to friends, which we are today, and we've always been. But he's always made me proud, and I hope I've always made him proud, which I think I have. And I look forward to our continued growing relationship that we have.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
I got looking tools. Yeah.
Skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped in clover.
I got
The
one.
night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I could call my own. I found a dream to press my cheek to, a thrill that I never known. Oh, you smile, and then the
Zoom, you might be better Zoom. And yours comes out in high def.